Hello, everyone. Welcome to the presentation we have today. This is Seewing Yee from the Yee Real Estate Network. And today I'm very excited to promote one additional market within my investment club. And, and this time we are promoting Pittsburg, Pennsylvania. Yes, my so anyway, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The reason why I decided to promote this market is for a lot of reasons, and you're going to hear about it very shortly. And yeah, so I'm very very excited. I've known this organization for a while, and once you hear about his presentation, it appears that we have the same synergy, same core value, same philosophy of doing business with prospective clients and investors for the long term. I've been around since 2004. For some of you who do not know my background, so we run a real estate investment club, the Year Real Estate Network, since 2004. So yeah, so without further ado, I'm going to take it away and I'm going to introduce you, TJ, to my network. Say hello, TJ, and you may proceed accordingly.
Okay, thank you so much, Seawing. I just want to first and foremost thank you for having us on today, and I really, really appreciate it. It's an honor. This is our first time presenting together in a webinar, and it's super exciting to do so. So Seawing, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So our company's Aurora Real Estate Investment Services, and we're born and raised here in Pittsburgh. You're going to hear a lot about our family history, our company history, and this amazing city of Pittsburgh that I am sitting in right now. I'm sorry that my phone's ringing in the background. Okay, so my family's been investing in Pittsburgh real estate since 1925, and I can't wait to tell you all about that. We are ingrained in this city. One of the things that I want you to know about us is that we are born and raised here. My family is ingrained in this heritage, and that's important when you're looking at a team to invest with out of state or out of country, because you want to know that that team that you're investing with isn't going anywhere. They're not just going to move to the next hot market, but they are going to be there, and they're going to be there to support you. And that's what we're here to do. We want you to understand that we focus on building long-term relationships. We've been working with out-of-country and out-of-state investors since 2004, and most of our clients end up purchasing between two to four properties with us a year because we focus on long-term relationships. We don't focus on transactional relationships. We focus on relational relationships. And one of the way that that comes through is that we operate under a model that's very unique. Many people like us, many companies like us that do what we do, they offer you what's called a full turnkey property, which means that when you buy that property, it's already renovated. We actually operate under a different model where you purchase the property pre-renovation. However, we still facilitate everything for you. What I mean by that is we work with you for sourcing the right property for you. We facilitate all the renovation, and we facilitate the property management. So it's still passive investing. However, you get a lot of benefits under our model as compared to the full turnkey model. There's benefits to both, and we'll talk about those in a little bit. Seawing, if we can make sure we don't forget to talk about that, that's really important. Okay,
Yes,
so we are a family-owned and operated business. My wife and we have a business partner. We own the company, and we provide hands-off real estate investing, like I said, and we've built a proven system that works. I shouldn't say we take all the guesswork out of real estate investing, because there's always guesswork, there's risk involved, but we take most of the guesswork out of real estate investing. So I want to tell you about our family history. My great-great-grandmother, Baba Bazicevic, came over from Croatia to the United States in 1895. She came over with her husband and her two daughters. They got here and they rented a 2-bedroom apartment here in Pittsburgh. And Baba Bazicevic, what she did was she rented a 2-bedroom apartment, Her and her family lived in one bedroom and they rented out the other bedroom to 5 Croatian immigrants. She did absolutely everything that those renters needed. She cooked for them, she cleaned for them, she did their laundry, she made their lunches, she did everything they needed. All they had to do was go to work and come home and pay her rent. And from 1895 until 1925, Bubba Bazicevic saved up all of that money from renting out that other bedroom, which, as you guys know, today that would be called subleasing. And under our lease, that she would have been evicted. But back then, they didn't care about that. She saved up all that money, and in 1925, she purchased our family's first investment property. Absolutely amazing. A few things to take away from that is, number one, Bubba Bazicevic did not speak one word of English. So if you're listening to this webinar and you speak English, you have a leg up on Bubba Bazicevic. And if you are listening, I hope you do speak English, because then you could understand what I'm saying. The other thing to take from that is that purchase that Bubba Bazicevic made in 1925, that started our family legacy in real estate investing. So if you're in our family, it's not if you're going to invest in real estate, it's when. For example, we have my wife and I have 3 children, Thomas, Luke, and Tucker. Thomas is 9, Luke turns 7 on Saturday, and Tucker's 3. And guess what? They are all active real estate investors. Every penny they get for their birthdays, for Christmas, for holidays, it all gets saved up. And when they have enough money to go in as partners, 3-way partners on a property, my wife and I buy a property for them. We facilitate the renovation and rent it out. That's where our children's funds go. And we use those properties to actively show them the value of money and how to invest. And that's what has allowed our family since 1925 to experience the freedom that real estate investing provides, and to allow us to have our money working for us rather than us working for our money. And I tell you that not to brag, but I tell you that because if you're an existing real estate investor, or if you're an aspiring real estate investor, you can change the entire course of your family's legacy by starting to real estate invest now. You can do it. And you can provide the freedom to your family. Not that they won't have to work hard, but what real estate investing allows, it allows you the freedom to do what you want to do what where your heart is, rather than doing just what you have to do to pay the bills. And that's what we hear. I know that's what Seewing wants to do, and that's what we hear in Pittsburgh at Aurora Real Estate Investment Services. That's what we want to do with you. And we invite you to come do that with us. And one of the things that we do a little different than other people is we like to build those long-term relationships. And our first step in doing that is we invite each and every one of you to come spend a one-on-one day tour with us. Come spend the day with us, get to know us. We'll get to know you. We'll show you around the city. We'll build that relationship, and we'll even look at some opportunity. We'll talk more about that later, but I wanted to throw that out.
Well, DJ, very, very inspirational. I could not have said it better. So you come through as very genuine, very, very honest, very transparent. So it's very refreshing, to be honestly, to hear your passion and the way you articulate your passion to the investors out there. They're listening, they're trying to work with us. So I really appreciate that. So I'm really inspired personally. So just by hearing from what you just said, so very, very well done.
Thank you so much, Seewing. This is why I love this business, because, and I'm sure it's why you love it too, is it's not, the money's part of it, right? The money we receive from renovating properties and renting them out, but we get to be a part of changing people's lives. When you work with us, you're not just investing in a property, you're changing people's lives. We're growing neighborhoods. We're providing the nicest quality rentals in any given area that we invest for tenants. And let's be honest, in some neighborhoods, landlords don't treat tenants so well. So to be able to go out there and provide a high quality property for these people to live in, that just allows you to sleep well at night.
Yep, agree.
Now, Now, the benefit of the BRRRR strategy. So let me touch base, Seewing, on the BRRRR strategy, if you don't mind. Um, the benefit of the BRRRR strategy, when the BRRRR strategy stands for buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat. So when you purchase the property using our consultation fee, using our services, you are purchasing the property pre-renovation. And then we put you on the renovation schedule. Your property gets renovated and then it gets rented. And if you want to, you can refinance at that point and repeat the process. So to work with us, most of the time you need to come up with all the capital up front. And once you've owned the property for 6 months and 1 day, then you could refinance based off the ARV. Now, there's big benefit to that. Under the full turnkey model, which we are not, the benefit is that the day you close, usually the property is ready for renovation and or it's already rented out. The benefit to this model is that you get between 5 to 15% equity in your investment. Under the full turnkey model, you normally pay right around full market value. Sometimes a little bit over, maybe a little bit under, but normally right around full market value. I don't know if you're like me, but I like to get a deal on everything. I will go into Home Depot and negotiate the price of a hammer. You could go into my grandma's basement. My grandma was a German woman. She taught me the value of $1. You could go into her basement and live for a year without ever going to the store, because if something's on sale, she will coupon it and double coupon it and get the best deal she can. And that's how we operate. We believe you as a real estate investor and ourselves, you should not be paying full market value for your investments. So therefore, with us, under this model, you achieve 5 to 15% equity. The other benefit, one of the other benefits, is that because you are funding the renovation, you get the tax benefits of the renovation. Myself and my wife, we try to renovate at least 2 to 4 properties a year so we could put more money into our investments and less money legally into the government's pocket. And my favorite one of my favorite benefits to this model is it allows us to tailor fit our search with you and focus on relationships rather than selling you what we have. What I mean by that is if we had a bunch of inventory, we have zero inventory. Our model, we go out there and we are actively always searching for properties to meet our clients' needs. So because of that, when you come in to spend a day and tour with us, or when we're talking on the phone with you, we're not trying to sell you this property that we've put a bunch of money into. We're focused on building the relationship with you and going out and finding the property that meets your needs. So when you work with us, we tailor fit our search for you rather than selling you what we have.
Sounds good. I love it.
Okay, here's our team. You can see myself and my beautiful wife. Of course, I have to do a picture with my wife next to me because she makes me makes me look a lot nicer. Next to that, you can see our 3 young dudes, Thomas, Luke, and Tucker. And then Rebecca, our business partners, next to that. You see Valerie, my aunt. You see Amy next to that. And then you see Jennifer Zebo next to that. And we also have another team member who's been with us for about 1.5 years. His name's Chip. We got to add him onto here. He hasn't gotten that benefit yet. Okay, so here's some quick stats about the city of Pittsburg. Some of you are going to be amazed. I know that many of you, when you think about Pittsburg, you have in your mind this just rusty, polluted city because we put it this way. We produced 60% of the steel for World War II. Believe it or not, 60% of the steel for World War II. That means all the tanks, all the airplanes, all the guns, all the bullets, all the helmets. We produced 60% of that steel here in Pittsburgh. So with all that production came a lot of pollution. During that time, we used to be the #1 most polluted city in the entire world. So I don't blame you for thinking that way about our city. But I promise you, if you come here today, you will be absolutely blown away. We are now the #1 city in America for green commercial real estate. The #1 city in America for green commercial real estate. We have in downtown Pittsburgh, I'm actually sitting in my office right now. I can see downtown Pittsburgh. We have the world's largest green certified building. in downtown Pittsburgh, the city that used to be the most polluted city in the entire world. That tells you how this city has changed. And we want you to be a part of that continual change. We have a population of 305,000 in the city limits, which is about 2.6 million when you include the counties. Our unemployment rates well below the national average, only at 4.7%. We have so many economic drivers here because we are extremely diverse. I'll tell you about that in a moment. We have 15 Fortune 500 companies, and our crime rate is 1.5% below the national average. So let me give you a little history on Pittsburgh. Up until the late 1970s, we had all of our eggs in one basket, one economic basket. I'm sure you can all guess what that economic basket was. It was the steel industry. But in the late 1970s, the steel industry went over to China, and that is when the city of Pittsburgh experienced its GFC, its great financial crisis. And we could have crashed. There's some cities in the United States that lost most of their economy, particularly Detroit, and they lost millions of people. City blocks were wiped out. That didn't happen here. Can you guess why? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because we have so many wealthy families here in Pittsburgh. We have the Carnegies, we have the Hineses, we have the Rooneys, we have the Hillmans, we have the Fricks. And what all those wealthy families own is real estate. And because they own a ton of real estate here in Pittsburgh, they could not allow our city to crash, or they would have lost billions upon billions of dollars in real estate investing. So the wealthy people in our city got together with the local government, invested a lot of money, and said, we have to diversify. So starting in the early 1980s, our city started to diversify. You didn't really see that come to fruition. You didn't see the fruits of that until the mid-1990s. Now, we've been ranked the #1 or #2 most livable city in America for 6 years in a row. We've been ranked, just in the past several months, we've been ranked the #1 city in America for retirees. We've also been ranked the #1 city in America for millennials. There's a lot happening here. It is super, super cool. All right, here we go. Let's talk about that diverse economy. Now, the foundation for the diversity in our economy is that we have 34 colleges and universities. 34. Now, what that means is you have a lot of young talent coming out of those colleges and universities. Now, 10, 15 years ago, those people coming out of there, they would graduate and they would move to New York, they would move to Florida, they would move to California. But today, they're staying here because there's so much to do, and there's so many companies like Google, like Uber, just tech companies. We've been nicknamed the Silicon Strip. There's so many companies coming here to capture all that young talent. So that's the foundation for what we got. We have an average vacancy rate of 3 to 4% in Allegheny County, which is the county Pittsburgh's in. We have the banking industry. PNC Bank is the 5th largest bank in the United States, and Pittsburgh is their headquarters. Bank of New York Mellon, BNY Mellon, is the #1 investment bank worldwide, and their 2nd largest presence in the United States is in Pittsburgh. We have the clothing industry. We have American Eagle. We have Dick's Sporting Goods. We have the food industry. Everybody knows Heinz, right? The best ketchup in the world. We have Heinz, Del Monte, Starkist. Now, this is going to blow you away. The 2nd largest movie production in the United States is Pittsburgh, PA, behind Hollywood. 2nd largest movie production. Because of our geography, because of the cost of living, because it's so affordable to film, and you get such a diversity. We have 446 bridges, more bridges than any city in the world. We have mountains, we have rivers, it's just really, really pretty. The medical industry, UPMC, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, is our largest employer, and they're a leader in medical innovation. University of Pittsburgh partners with Carnegie Mellon a lot, and so there's a lot of research and development money there. We have the pharmaceutical industry. We have Mylan. Mylan is the #1 producer of generic pharmaceutical in the United States, and their headquarters is Pittsburgh. We also have a very large presence from Covestra and Bayer. We have the energy industry. About an hour north and an hour west of downtown Pittsburgh, you have the Marcellus and the Utica Shale. The Marcellus and the Utica Shale combine to make up the second largest oil reserve in the United States. And because of that, we don't count on that, but that's icing on the cake. We get a lot of industry because of that. Now, our booming industry is our technology industry. Our technology industry is just off the chain right now. Once again, we've been nicknamed the Silicon Strip. Number one city in America for green commercial real estate. And I've already told you about PNC Bank's 850,000 square foot brand new green certified building in downtown Pittsburgh. Of course, we are the city of champions with football. Now we're tied with New England, but most Super Bowl wins, hockey. Okay, here's a few articles. Now, if you go to our website, I think Seewing, if you're interested in investing with us, you're going to want to call Seewing. You're going to want to have a consultation with him, and then he's going to lead you our way. But if you check out our website, which is www.investinpittsburgh.net, I'm going to tell you, check out the Getting Started tab so you really get to see the process of working with us. Also, check out the Articles tab under Why Pittsburgh, the Articles tab. You're going to see hundreds of articles over the past few years. So we had to just wean it down to 6 articles, but you're going to see national articles that tell you what's going on here and verify what I have to say. Zillow ranked Pittsburgh in the top 10 housing markets. Business Times ranks Pittsburgh the top city to relocate to. Let me tell you another article behind that. A few years ago, U-Haul did a study on the top cities in the world where U-Haul or moving trucks were being picked up, and the top cities in the world where they were being dropped off. And Pittsburgh was the #1 city in America where U-Haul trucks were getting dropped off, which tells you people are moving here. Pittsburgh region most affordable to own a home. One of the major reasons why people come here is because it's a small, big city. There's so much to do, and it's very affordable. The Atlantic ranked us the 5th most resilient city in the world. So between 2002 and 2011, 2002 to 2011, right? You had these other cities that were appreciating at 15, 20, 30% a year. And during that time, Pittsburgh appreciated at 3 to 5% a year. So nobody wanted to invest here. But guess what? When the GFC happened, when the crash happened, and those other cities went down in value 30, 40, 50, 60%, Pittsburgh only went down 2% in median home value. And we were the first city in America to experience median home growth. So when you invest here, you're not investing to buy today and get rich in 5 years. You're investing for that blue-collar, hard-working investment that's going to provide for you and your family for the long haul. Just like Pittsburgh is a hard-working, blue-collar town. Listen to this. Economist ranked us the #1 most livable city 3 out of 5 years. Last year, 2018, we were ranked the #2 most livable city. So in the past 6 years, we've been ranked the #1 or #2 most livable city 4 out of 6 years. And Realtor.com, Pittsburgh area, 2nd most popular housing market in the nation for millennials. Okay, let's talk about the Silicon Strip I told you about. The National Real Estate Investor names Pittsburgh top city for real estate investing. Pittsburgh dubbed the Silicon Strip. Pittsburgh Time, Amazon just continues to expand their presence here. UPMC, which is University of Pittsburgh, and Microsoft announced a strategic partnership to keep both companies at the forefront of medical AI innovation. Uber continues to grow their presence here. It's phenomenal. Ford has invested $1 billion in Pittsburgh to start developing their first driverless car. Most of this is because of Carnegie Mellon, let's be honest. NetsPittsburgh.com, SAP software company brings 242 new jobs here. Okay, these are some of the companies I've already told you about that have a large presence in Pittsburgh. Google, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Uber. We also have PPG, which stands for Pittsburgh Plate and Glass. That's just a monster company. UPMC, ATI, SAP, Westinghouse, Bear, Alcoa. Alcoa is the #1 producer of aluminum in the entire world, and their headquarter is, guess what? Yes, here at Pittsburgh. And Heinz, Del Monte, Starkist. We talked about all those. Okay. Now let's look at some examples. Now I'm showing you these examples. I want to tell you that once again, when you work with us, you're coming up with all of the investment cash, and then you're refinancing down the road. Once the property's once you've owned the property for 6 months and 1 day, or the renovation's completed, whichever's later. I'm showing you these to show you the before and after pictures. What you're going to find is that we believe the first step in renovating, the first step in tenant screening is your renovation. You cannot perform a low quality renovation and expect a high quality tenant. Our average single family tenant stays for 3 to 10 years with an average of 5.5 years. Most people have a tenant turnover of 1 to 2 years. The reason why we keep tenants so long is because we take care of our properties and we do a high quality renovation up front. So in a C or C plus neighborhood property, you can expect about a 9% cash on cash return before you refinance. In a B neighborhood property, you could expect about an 8% cash on cash return before you refinance. And in a A neighborhood property, you could expect about a 7% cash on cash return before you refinance. This was a property here in my hometown, same town where Bubba Bazicevich purchased our family's first investment property. Actually, the same town I'm sitting in my office right now. This is about 0.2 miles away from me. Total investment about $63,000. We call this a C plus neighborhood, less than 5 miles to downtown Pittsburgh, and a brand new transportation hub was just put in here. Super exciting what's going on. Once again, we invest in about 17 different neighborhoods around Pittsburgh. I think I've learned over the years the best way to really understand our city and to grow the relationship is if you would come out and spend a day with us. Check out the Getting Started tab on our website to see more. So we did a lot of work here. I mean, you can see all the work. We did furnace, we did all this work, and believe it or not, everything included $63,000. It ended up being about 9%. You could see the before and after on the exterior. We cleaned up the exterior. We put a brand new roof on there. One thing I want to point out to you is we believe in spending more money now to save money later. Therefore, when we do a new roof, we always rip off all layers of shingle. We don't trip over dollars to pick up pennies and put a new roof over an old roof. There's many reasons for that I can explain to you later. Another thing I want to point out, we use dimensional shingle when we do our new roof. We don't go back with the 3-tab. Dimensional shingle costs a little bit more money up front, but it is a better roof and it lasts you longer. Always spend more money today to save money later. So you can see we cleaned up the front. We put a new roof on. Place looks really nice. This place has had the same tenant in it ever since. Okay, you walk in the front door. We always do a 2-tone paint color. We make it pop. We do a nice wet area flooring. We swap out the outlets. We do everything. We make a complete project, right? We put quarter round down. What I want you to notice on the left-hand side, the lock, that's a master lock system. We could get into any of our properties with 1 key. There's a lot of reasons for that. It's very convenient. And also, we could just change out the core instead of changing out the whole lock when a tenant leaves. Another thing that I want to point out is we put a dummy knob, a dummy doorknob, a doorknob that can't lock. You can only lock the deadbolt. Listen, ever since we did that, there are no more lockouts on properties. All of our owners have never had to spend money on a locksmith because the only way the tenant can lock the door is if they use their key. They can't turn that knob on the inside of the doorknob and lock themselves out. It's little things like that. We've been investing in property for over 90 years. So by working with us, you get the benefit of all that experience we've had over the past 90 years, and you don't have to waste your money. Here's the dining room. We took out the carpet. We did nice laminate flooring, higher quality laminate flooring, 2-tone paint color. We put the new drop ceiling in, the new dome light in. This place just pops. You can see we did a brand new kitchen. We moved the sink to the interior wall so the pipes don't freeze. It came out really, really nice. Check out that kitchen. Remember, this is a C+ grade property. Nobody else in this neighborhood is doing this grade of rehab. Therefore, when we put a property on the rental market, we get a ton of applications. Our property manager normally has these properties rented out within about 2 weeks, and these tenants stay for about 3 to 10 years on average. Check out the second floor hallway. Complete change, complete different. Beautiful. Now, here's my favorite room in the house. Let me tell you why. Because we added value. This attic was just being used as a storage attic, and we turned it into a bedroom. Therefore, changing this house from a 3-bedroom to a 4-bedroom. When you work with us, we're always looking to add value. That's how real estate investors make more money, by adding value. That's what takes you to the next level. We drywalled this entire attic. We put a closet up here. We put a heat source up here. You now have a beautiful 4-bedroom house when we bought a rundown 3-bedroom house. Check that out. Look at the difference. Absolutely amazing. This gets me really excited because I love the transformation. Now, here's a room in the house that most people don't put any money, but we put money. And this is one of the main reasons why our properties rent out before other properties. Because when potential tenants are looking at other properties, they're walking in basements like you see in that left picture. And guess what? Your laundry is done in the basement. Who wants to go down and do their laundry in that dirty, dingy basement? So what we do is we clean it up, we paint the walls, we make it super clean. Now look on the right-hand side. That's what they see when they come and look at our properties. And that's where you're going to be doing your laundry. And also in the wintertime, look, I grew up in this same neighborhood. I love to play basketball. In the wintertime, I would be in the basement dribbling my basketball for hours. On the right-hand side, that's a basement you can feel comfortable sending your kid down into to dribble some basketball, play around, do whatever. On the left-hand side, I wouldn't necessarily want my kid playing down there. Here's the back porch. We cleaned it up nice. Okay, that was a C+ neighborhood property. Now here's a B neighborhood property. All brick, solid. This property is not far from where the new multi-billion dollar Shell Oil Corporation ethane cracker plant's going into. 4-bedroom house, good numbers, solid numbers. We did a lot of work on this house. Total investment $83,000. Check it out. On this one, we refinished the hardwood floors. You can see how nice they came out. If we can refinish hardwood floors, we always do. Many times you're not able to because the pee stains and things like that from the urine smell are too deep into them. But when we can, they do. In a B neighborhood, we do carpet from the steps up. You're going to see that nice 3-tone paint, that 3-tone carpeting that matches our paint. But what you're going to start to see is it's very cookie cutter. We use the same color, nice neutral color. We know what people are looking for in these neighborhoods, and we do all smoke detectors, all CO2s per code, all handrails per code, everything per code. Look at the difference in the living room. Really nice. It pops. Look at the dining room. We put in new windows, 2-tone paint color, refinished the hardwoods. There's a new kitchen we did in the kitchen. We got our nice wet area flooring. The place just really, really, really pops. And that's why we rent these places out quick. People stay for a long time. Headed down the basement. Once again, you can see the difference in the basement. Just nice and clean. Here's the backyard. This place has a garage that we actually rented separately. Here's another one in the same area that I'm in right now, same area we grew up. Just to go through, very similar. You're going to see the 2-tone paint color, the new flooring, just everything, new bathroom, just the place totally, totally pops. And here's Whittier, another B neighborhood property. Check out the numbers. Pretty unbelievable, huh, Seewing? You can see here that the thing that I get most excited about this particular property is the homeowners had made that room off to the right. They made that room a dining room. Well, as a real estate investor, that was just an extra dining room. As a real estate investor, you get no value from having an extra dining room as a rental. So what did we do? We closed it off and converted it back to a bedroom, therefore adding additional rental income and also actually also adding to your after repair value. So check it out. You got the nice walk through straight into your kitchen. You have your little dining area right there before the kitchen. The kitchen's a really, really nice kitchen. Um, that's the end of it right there. End of the slideshow. All right, so that's all I got. I want to remind you, check us out at www.investinpittsburgh.net. Also, check out the Getting Started tab. We invite you to come spend the day one-on-one with us. We also invite you to contact, we recommend you contact Seewing, have your consult, and then he'll send an introduction. We'll set up a phone call, just a brief, like 20 to 30-minute phone call, and move forward from there. I'm really, really looking forward to working with you and building a long-term relationship.
Well, TJ, normally when I co-present a webinar over the years, there's always some questions and concerns and objections coming from prospective investors, and I'm blown away by your presentation because throughout your presentation, I mean, I put myself in the shoes of a potential investor. I can't even think of any kind of questions. I mean, you have addressed all the potential objections. So yeah, you have touched all the bases. I mean, I'm like you said, I'm blown away, and I, I mean,
Thank you.
I'm sure you heard this before from other partners, but really am. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. So you have just addressed all the issues, all the potential concerns with respect to the way you run your business, the way you're caring for the client. The long-term aspect is very important. The relationship, same with me. So clearly, you and I have same core values, and I'm very excited to promote your product. Obviously, so one question. Let me recap. Okay, let me see if I can understand you. This is a little bit different than other investment strategies that we promote within my organization. So my recap, my understanding is that the investor will buy your property with all cash. There's no financing, obviously, because you're using the BRRRR strategy, BRRRR. I don't know how many R's, but
I'll tell you. Hold on.
yeah.
Buy, renovate, rent, refinance. Four R's.
Okay.
4
Okay. Thank you for the clarification. Oh,
R's.
by the way, I mean, offline, I would love to get the proper spelling of your great 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 grandma's. That's a very, very good name, Baba Bazivuzic. I don't know. That's a very good ethnic name.
Baba Bazicevic. Yeah, I gotta look it up every time someone wants the spelling. It's challenging to spell.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so very, very easy. Okay, so on behalf of my investors, I mean, yeah, one day after they hear this webinar presentation, they could be blown away same way I am. I'm really excited. I'm really inspired to promote your product. So basically, they buy all cash or even with their self-directed IRAs. I'm sure you welcome that process, that strategy as well. Like 25% of my investors do use their self-directed IRA to purchase rental real estate. So I think I'm sure you can also accommodate those buyers as well.
Yeah, many of our investors use self-directed IRA.
Perfect, perfect. So basically, they pay all cash for whatever the price you guys agree on. After you work with them, my investors will come through me first. Of course, I pre-screen them, and once they are ready to go, I send them to you. Then you will uh, create a relationship with my investor, understand their goals and objectives, understand their criteria. Then once you then you work with them one on one. You will find a property that will meet their criteria. Then when they close escrow with all cash purchase, then you do your several months of RRR, and then however long it takes, it may take few months, it may take up to 6 months. At the end of 6 months to a day, plus one day, they could potentially refinance their after repair value. Hopefully, after repair value, they have gain some equity during the time of the renovation, which is another value add. And they have the option, if I understand you correctly, TJ, they have the potential to refinance if they want to at the end of 6 months or one day. They don't have to, because they bought it all cash. There's no mortgage, so they can achieve a pretty significant monthly net cash flow if they keep the property as a full cash. But if they can refinance, they can refinance with after repair value at 6 months to one day later. Then when they refinance, they could refinance like what, 75% loan to value, something like that. And with the refinance, they could use the extra money to buy more property through you and keep on kind of like a domino effect, right? They can leverage, work with you. That's why your typical buyer have buy two, three, four properties because because of this concept. Am I right?
That's correct, 100%.
Okay, so we on the same boat, same wavelength. So that's pretty much it. You have any kind of final words before we'll finish with this presentation?
No, no, you did a great recap. Once again, I think we have the same core values. I'm excited to grow this relationship with you and the clients that come our way. And I just got to really reiterate, we've been doing this, for now, I guess, what, 15 years. And we build long-term relationships in all areas. And we highly recommend coming and spending the day with us, because that's a great first step. That's a great foundation for that long-term relationship.
Yep, sounds great. I totally agree. Thank you so much, TJ, for working with us, and look forward to working together and help our investors to achieve their long-term goals. Thank you so much for your time, TJ, and have a blessed day.
All right, thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Bye.